today's going to be a bit of an annoying day. Reason being, according to Vedic astrology, there's a lot of Taurus and 12th house placements today. A lot. And so, with Taurus energy being unmovable, solid, and fixed, in the 12th house where things, in my opinion, float, like being in space, it's just going to feel like a whole bunch of immovable objects, people, places, and things in your way, just floating around you at all times. This could be, as simple as, like, let's say you're trying to back out of a parking spot or what have you. There's just going to be some type of blockage. Or, let's say you're driving and there's no one behind you, no one whatsoever, and someone just feels it necessary for them to pretty much merge out into the road, like basically cut you off. Like they just have to do it right then and there, as opposed to just waiting until you drive by. There's no one behind you. There was no rush. There was no need for them to have to get in front of you to cut you off, to slow you up. But that's what's going to end up happening. Another thing with Taurus energy, it is very slow. And in the 12th house, a lot of people are in denial in this house. A lot of people suppress this house and are in denial about this house or refuse to acknowledge this house. And so you're going to be dealing with, people energies that not only are slow, but they're going to be acting dumb. And I say acting very loosely. I don't, at this point, believe anyone's acting dumb. I truly believe that that's what they are. So be mindful of that. You're going to be in some situations where, let's say that you tell someone you're not able to do something or you will not do something, and they will continue the conversation or continue trying to convince or argue or debate with you as to what you will and will not do, or what it is that you understand and what you don't know. I remember yesterday I had a little bit of this energy. I told someone I wasn't aware of something that was pertaining to their situation that they wanted me to fix, because I didn't get all of the information that I needed. And so when, I told them, I may not be able to do that, or I'm just not willing to do it, they still continued on with the conversation and trying to get their way. And then I had to end up reiterating that they're not going to get their way, not with me. You're not getting your way. And then they proceeded to try to argue and get all mad. A few things happened in that scenario. One, with Taurus energy in the 12th house, these are people who are standing on their delusions and their illusions. They're standing on their beliefs. Taurus is the beliefs. The 12th house is their illusions. And we all have illusions. We all have fantasies. We all have, something that we envision should happen and in a perfect world, or we all have our own illusions about ourselves and the power that we have and the privileges and the benefits that we should have. We all have these things. So it's just, you're gonna have a lot of people here who are standing on their illusions. They're standing on their fantasies. They're standing on what they believe that they should have or deserve, or they have the power to get. And you're going to have to be the one, especially with the 12th house, dealing with boundaries or the lack thereof. But Taurus energy is all about boundaries. You're just going to have a lot of people here who are going to try to challenge your boundaries. They're going to try to challenge and override your boundaries by way of their delusions and illusions. And so you're going to have to be the one to stand on your business and stand on your boundaries, because I promise you, you're going to have other people here who are going to be standing on their illusions and what they want. And, at the time that they want it. Taurus energy also in some way deals with time, only because Taurus energy is slow, very slow moving. So anything that's slow, that there is some measure of time in that there. Okay, so that's pretty much what's going to be going on. Also, some of you may have a difficult time getting up in the morning, or just getting up and moving. Taurus energy is also very slow to kind of get the juices flowing. And then the 12th house also deals with bed pleasures, and just kind of being in another realm in reality. So with all of this in mind, you may have a difficult time kind of waking up. You have or you may not want to. You may want to just chill out. Taurus energy can be lazy. The 12th house deals with bed pleasures and things of that nature. So that could be going on here as well. There also can be an overindulgence in people's illusions and delusions at this time, that they will ground their hooves in the ground to get their way. So it can be a very combative time or a combative day. People are going to try to get you wrapped up in their 12th house of karma, BS, addictions, just things that they deny or refuse to acknowledge about themselves. And so if they can't acknowledge anything about themselves, they're not going to be able to acknowledge anything outside of themselves. And at this point, you are outside of these people's selves. So you're going to have a lot of people here who will not acknowledge what it is that you are saying or doing, or what it is that you believe in, things that you're standing on. So be mindful of that. I had another situation yesterday. And it was just a whole bunch of people here who were projecting their madness or their fear, which again, it can, coincide with the 12th house, their fear really, but madness also. They were projecting that upon me and getting mad and trying to argue with me. And I'm at a point in my life where I don't argue. I'm gonna just stop talking and keep it pushing. At this point, I don't care. You're also going to people are also going to try to get you to care about their situation, which is another delusion or illusion. And the only way people know how to do this effectively is by way of negativity. They can only try to get you upset to try to engage you in their affairs, as opposed to, talking to you nice and with respect. Taurus energy is all about respect. They have a lack of that. You have to understand the 12th house dissolves anything whatever is in that 12th house, it dissolves. So if Taurus is about respect, that respect is going to dissolve today. People do not have any respect. They didn't have it before, but they in their mind, they feel like they are justified and not having respect, but still wanting what they want, still standing on their beliefs and their business and whatever else. And they think that they should have what they should have, with a lack of respect towards anything or anyone outside of themselves. But you have to also understand the 12th house is a reflection of the self always. So if you are aware, enlightened, you're going to be able to see it for what it is. Like, okay, you're talking to me crazy because you have a lack of respect for yourself, or you don't even know how to communicate with yourself. You don't know how to critical think. And so what's coming outside of you, because you lack critical thinking skills, because you lack reflection, because the 12th house deals with reflection as well, because you cannot reflect on yourself and how you may have created this said situation or this fear. You've created the 12th house's fantasy. You create these things. Then you're going to have people here who are going to take it outside of themselves. It's kind of like that homegirl was like, catch me outside. You're going to have a lot of people on that energy, catch me outside, because they can't catch themselves within. Yeah. So it's a whole lot of as without, no within, as no within today. Just be very mindful of that. Just be very, very mindful of that. And I don't know, I'm always mindful just off the strength, because I am loaded. I could teach a class or 2 or 3 about retrograde energy. My whole chart is engulfed with retrogrades. The majority of my planets are all retrograde. So I'm forced into reflection at all times. I'm forced into it, Retrograde energy is like you leaving the house and you're halfway to your destination, only to realize that you may need to go turn back home because you may have left the stove on, or you may have left your hair curler on or something like that. And now you have to go right back home to make sure these things are off, just to go right back to your destination. So that to me is like, that's my energy at all times. So I'm forced into reflection. And with all of these energies that are going on, the world is getting crazy. I'm noticing that I am becoming more and more detached, like truly. Like at this point, I'm not even, when people try to project their anger or their lack of self-reflection, or their lack of self-awareness and enlightenment, I'm able to just look at them with a blank face. Like, you know what? I really don't care. This is not my problem. And because you're trying to go about it in this manner to make it my problem, now I promise you, I'm going to make sure it's not my problem. I'm going to make sure it's not my problem. I'm gonna make sure. So I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on. I think I'll be doing this a little bit more, but I'm testing the waters, Neptune is still in Pisces according to Vedic astrology as well. And with all this 12th house energy, I don't know if I even mentioned today, depending on where you guys live, it may be very foggy out. Very, very foggy. And so you may have a hard time seeing these immovable objects, people, places, and things, or challenges. you may have a hard time seeing this, or other people maybe have a hard time seeing this within you. You know, you may be about that life, and people, you know, may have you effed up. In other words, they may have you effed up, and they're going to try you, and then you're going to have to clear the fog and cue the fog, and then you're going to have to let them see you clearly, hear you clearly. This is what it is, and this is what it's not. Okay. Is there anything else I would like to add? Oh yes, Pisces, Neptune is in Pisces still. So I was gonna say, be mindful of flooding, be mindful, there may be a lot of rain. This is also another reason why there's a lot of like hurricanes and really bad weather all over the world due to this Neptune energy. And this is also explaining why there's like an obsession with fishing. People are all of a sudden so obsessed with fishing, but I digress. But just be mindful of like plumbing and things of that nature. That could also be a thing, possibly. Also too, for some of you, it may probably be in your best interest to do a detox. Anything else I want to add? Because I have to go. I think that's it. You're welcome.